Chest tubes are lifesavers in thoracic care. Let's walk through how they work and what you must monitor and the key exam points you need to master. First, let's have a refresher on normal physiology. The pleural space is a very thin potential space between the visceral and parietal pleura. Under healthy condition, it maintains a slight negative pressure, allowing the lungs to expand fully during inspiration and recoil during exhalation. That negative pressure is the key to lung inflation and efficient gas exchange. When that negative pressure is disrupted, whether by air, blood, or fluid in the pleural space, the lungs cannot expand properly. The lung becomes compressed or collapses. Oxygenation suffers, and the patient may struggle to breathe. That's where a chest tube comes into play. A chest tube may be inserted for three main reasons. Number 1, pneumothorax, air in the pleural space. Number 2, hemothorax, blood in the pleural space. And number 3 is pleural effusion, fluid accumulating compressed in the lung. The goal is to remove the unwanted material, restore negative pressure, and allow the lung to re-expand. The chest tube is inserted into the pleural space and connected to a closed one-way drainage system. Gravity helps. That's why the canister must remain below chest level at all times. Air or fluid drains out, nothing flows back in, and that restores negative pressure, which allows the lung to expand. Know the 3 chambers for the exam. Suction control chamber. Regulated suction applied, gentle constant bubbling means it's working. Vigorous bubbling means the suction might be too high. Water sealed chamber acts as a one-way valve. You should see tidaling. The water level rises and falls with each breath. Intermittent bubbling is okay, for example when you cough, but continuous bubbling here signals an air leak. And then you have your collection chamber. This is where the fluid or blood accumulates. Monitor the amount, color, and consistency closely. Now, as the nurse, you always keep an emergency kit at the bedside. Hemostats, sterile gauze, occlusive dressing. Number 2, ensure tubing is free of kinks, system remains below the chest, and connections taped and secured. Check the dressing insertion site. Signs of infection, redness, warmth, purulent drainage, or subcutaneous emphysema, air under the skin, must be reported immediately. If tubing becomes dislodged or disconnected, apply a 3-sided occlusive dressing taped on either 3 sides to allow air to escape but not really enter. Drainage color is vital. Dark red means old blood, and that's normal. You must document and monitor. Bright red, though, especially more than 100 milliliters an hour in the first hour, indicates a possible hemorrhage. You must notify the provider about these certain things.
Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more medical information, and to really help you on your next exam.